Continuing along with the development of this vertical navigation panel, we're going to add some elements this time around that really begin to make it interactive. So let's go ahead and add our H3 and our UL styles. These are both styles that you've already seen. If we go ahead and save this at this point, I can show you in the browser that we have a familiar panel with the list over here, unordered list. And now we're going to take that, and again, we're going to style it in a custom way, and we're also going to really enhance the visual experience here of it really being a navigation panel. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to style the list items. And once again, we've given a list style type of none, and we've added our list item bullet, and we've given a border to the bottom of each list item. Let's go ahead and save and see how that looks in our browser. Refresh, and now you can see we've introduced the custom bullets, and we have a border underneath each of the list items. Flip back into Dreamweaver here, or your HTML or text-based editor, and let's go ahead and now add a style for the anchors, the links within the list items. And you'll notice we've changed the display of the anchor to be block level, okay? Typically speaking, by default, anchors, lists, are what we refer to as inline. In other words, they don't have any page breaks after them. They flow with the text and do not force the information after them to the next line. But what we've done here is we've changed that default behavior, and we've now allowed them to fill the entire horizontal space available to them within the document and forced any other information to come after it to the line below. This is really important, as you'll see when we save the file and go ahead and reload in Firefox. Now, if you'll notice, as I place my mouse over this, the entire list item, see all the way over to the end of the box, is hot, clickable. See that? Whereas in the past, if we hadn't been able to change that, the only part of the link in this entire navigation that would be clickable would be exactly what you see underlined. Only that. Because we've changed the display to block display, it now goes out to the farthest of its available space, and everything else has to come below it. Let's go ahead and go back into Dreamweaver and add one more style. And here we've changed the hover so that on the hover state, and we covered the hover state when we talked about styling links, on the hover state some things are going to happen, and we've got a background that's going to appear. In our background, given it a color, we've also put an image into our background with a no repeat property value, and we've given it some space here. So let's go ahead and save the file and take a look at just what this does. We reload, and we don't see any real difference here until hover. Now, as the mouse hovers over, we have a really, really attractive navigation bar.
It's also worth pointing out that, as well as the hover state, we can provide different styling for when the links are clickable or perhaps activated by the keyboard.
Exactly.
So we can use the active and focus states, perhaps to change the background image so that it is a different bullet as the mouse rolls over.
One of the things that we could do then in multiple states, as Andy was just mentioning, is to, as we mouse over each individual item, change aspects of the state item. So the bullet could change, or a marker could be set so that the page that we're on is uniquely identified. In the bookmarks.html file that is found in your source folder, you will find a number of very, very helpful references that will enable you to work with lists in a very sophisticated manner, taking even something like this and making it go much farther, learning how to change states, how to add markers that determine the page that you're on that are different in some ways, and different ways that you can make your list-based navigation very, very compelling.